Welcome back to Apathetic Reviews. Oh, he surely doesn't care, does he?
This video is rated mature. I actually ended up watching this movie like 2 weeks ago, I think. I watched it near the end of December, but I was actually so apathetic towards it that I didn't even want to make an apathetic review. That's how much I actually just genuinely don't care about this movie. Until today, when they announced the Oscar nominations and Avatar 3, Fire and Ash, got an Oscar nomination for Best Costume Design, and not Wicked. Now, I don't like Wicked for good. I actually really don't like it. I don't think it's a good movie. And comparatively, I do think Avatar is a little bit of a better movie, but not by much, and I'm going to go into why. But I just want to bring up how kind of absurd it is that, they put Ethan Slater in a full-on fucking Tin Man costume for 5 minutes, but there was still a lot of work, and they painted Cynthia Erivo green, and that didn't get a costume nom. Like, they really shut out Wicked this year, and that's actually a little funny, but also a little sad. And also, basically all of Avatar is CGI. Now, to the people being, oh, but, the costume design of the CG creature. No, that's visual effects. That's different. No, I don't consider them the same thing. Costume design is the more physical aspect of it, like the actual stuff, at least in my mind. You can disagree with me if you want, because I do love the medium of performance capture, and I'm not trying to downplay performance capture or the visual effects team or whatever, because I do think that Avatar does deserve its visual effects nom. But anyway, yeah, I do not think it should have gotten a costume design nomination. Like, that is crazy. That is insane to me. Anyway, Avatar 3, not very good. So I watched this with my best friend, and we both agreed that we wish we kind of didn't watch this movie, because it's 3 hours that we're never, ever gonna get back. Now, I'm someone, if you want to know my opinions on the other Avatar movies, the first Avatar is like whatever. I appreciate all the movies for their groundbreaking CGI anyway, so like that's kind of a given. But the first movie, groundbreaking CGI, I appreciate it for that. Its story is basically just Pocahontas, so it's not that interesting at all. I really like the second one because it's new and it's interesting, and the water looks really pretty. The new Avatar people look really pretty. Anyway, and I do like the stuff they do with like the human kid, Spider, whatever his name is, and then Quaritch. What they do with bringing back the villain, basically reincarnating him as an Avatar. That's actually kind of cool. The story is original, and so I really like it for that. So after the second one, I actually was kind of an Avatar fan, and I was very excited to see where the series is going. To a degree, I am excited to see what happens next, because I am interested. But I'm going to be honest with you, this third movie is just the second movie. It is just the second movie all over again. Basically all the characters end up in the same situations that they were from the last movie. Only one character... I mean, there's a couple of villain characters that, oh no, they die, but I barely remember them as characters. There's like the Kate Winslet, spoilers by the way, the Kate Winslet Queen water character. She dies. She dies in the battle near the end. That's like the only thing worth mentioning. Everything else is mostly whatever, and everything else you have already seen pretty much in the second movie. And I wish they did more interesting things. Like, I didn't really think that they were going to kill off Zoe Saldana's character, Neytiri. I didn't think they were going to kill off Neytiri, because they do this kind of fake out thing where, oh no, she falls from the sky and she gets like tangled up in these like leaves and vines and stuff. Oh no, and she's hanging from the vine. Is she dead? No, she's not dead, because they've talked about how Zoe Saldana is going to be like 50 or 70 or whatever when these next couple movies come out. So I knew that she wasn't going to die. Jake Sully could have died. There was a little bit of buzz around like, oh, is Jake Sully gonna die? Because like it's the end of a saga, because that's how they're describing this movie, is the end of the first Avatar saga, and then the next couple movies are the next saga, and it's just like, it works in sagas and sections or whatever. So I was hoping a little bit that Jake Sully would die, just to add a little bit more conflict and make everything more interesting, but no, they play it safe, and he's okay. They could have killed Spider, the boy. There was a point where I was like, oh my god, are they actually going to kill Spider and add some tension? That would be insane tension to kill off Spider and so make Quaritch more mad at you. Like, make Quaritch, like, really, really, really hate Jake Sully. But no. Again, they play it safe. They also do the same plot line where Spider is a little conflicted, but it's really weird because, like, he works kind of for both sides. Uh, it's really weird. And then he has the same kind of conversation with Quaritch that he did in the last movie, where they were like, "I'm your father, kid," and it's like that scene. You know the scene. You've watched Avatar too. I think. I hope. If you haven't, then do it. Or don't. I don't care. Anyway, so visual effects wise, it's groundbreaking, as you know. It's not like as, I don't want to say it's not as impressive, because it is impressive to be in such like wonder and such like be drawn in so much that you basically don't comprehend that none of what you're seeing is real. Like, that is actually really insane to me and really cool. So the movie is very immersive. I watched this in 3D. I don't think it needed to be 3D. It was the only option at my theater, so we paid extra for kind of a worse experience, to be honest. Like, I feel like the 3D wasn't utilized in this movie like it is in the other two. Um, the movie is just so blah. I don't know. The third act is really weird because in the third act, there's some voiceover narration by Jake Sully's kid, the boy character. And so you think that's where the film's going to end, because he's like, and we're going to go into battle. And then it cuts to black. And then me and my friend were like, oh, is this where it ends? And then it doesn't. And then it does that same thing like 5 different times, and you think the movie's going to end. So it's really insane, and it makes you very frustrated. And it's like, I want to leave the theater. I thought this movie was ending. They never cut to black any other time in the film other than the final act, other than the third act, and that is fucking insane for a 3-hour movie to kind of trick your audience into thinking that you're ending the movie. So yeah, that's a bit insane. For a movie called Fire and Ash, it doesn't really focus on the fire people all that much. I actually do like the relationship that Quaritch and that new fire chick have. Like, that's actually really cool, and it's a cool like inversion of the first movie's romance with Jake Sully and Neytiri. So I really liked what they were doing. I really like Quaritch as a character. I think he's kind of a fun character, and a fun character idea now that he's reincarnated. But I like his relationship with the fire girl. But like, they barely do anything at all. Like, the fire people, like, in the second movie, think about it from this way. Like, the second movie, the water people, the water tribe, they focus on them so much. They focus on like how they live their life and how it's different from the Na'vi and like whatever, and like it's much interesting and much more like in you're invested basically. But with the fire people, you're just like, why are they in front of a volcano? Like, they were ditched by the Na'vi or Awa or whoever, and now they're kind of mad and they train fire or whatever. Same thing with the wind people. Like, what's up with that? The wind people are there for 2 seconds and then they're all murdered. What the fuck? Anyway, so yeah, I'm a little disappointed for a movie called Fire and Ash for how heavily that was promoted. It really has nothing to do with the fire people. Like, they do drive the plot forward a little bit, but it's not that interesting. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say on Avatar. It's a fine movie, I guess. It really isn't all that interesting. I really do think that you should wait until it gets to Disney Plus if I were to recommend anything. I know it's kind of late now. The movie's been out for like a month, basically. But you know, if you're not really invested in Avatar, I don't think you should like watch this until it comes out on Disney Plus. I I am I'm back to skeptical now. With the first Avatar, I was like, I don't know how this can continue. Second Avatar, I was like, I have a good feeling about this, and now I'm back to skeptical again. So I don't know. I don't know how James Cameron is gonna pull off doing 7 of these movies if this one couldn't even like move the plot forward in any really meaningful way. And like it's really weird because the plot ends the same way the second one did. Quaritch kind of maybe sort of dies, but it's definitely like left ambiguous so that you watch the next movie and you're like, oh, he's back. I don't think he's gonna die anytime soon. And if he actually is dead from this movie, I'll be shocked because like that was a really awkwardly staged death scene, quote unquote. But yeah, the movie is whatever and fine. I don't even remember what I rated it on Letterboxd. Um, but I mostly just wanted to make this video so that I could talk about it because I am a little pissed off about that Oscar nomination thing. I think that's absurd. Anyway, smiles to you. Thanks for watching. I don't remember what I say at the end of these. It's been a while since I made one. But bye. Thank you.